The power of darkness? It's all true. The undead surround me. Have you ever talked to a corpse? It's boring.
Hello, everybody. I'm John.
I'm Justin.
And we're the Gore
Goblins.
This is our show
Where we talk about horror movies
that we like sometimes.
or don't sometimes.
And this episode's got both of those.
Yep.
But we also talk about movies we've never seen or heard of before.
Yeah, sometimes.
But boy, let me tell you what, it's been a while.
Yeah, a whole month almost.
Since I could look at myself straight, you know?
Thank you, Aaron Lewis.
What would we do without you? So yeah, that's what
The man speaks American.
that's shut up. That's so fucking South Park ass "Where My Country Gone" ass song that he wrote. God. What's the name of that fucking song? I don't even it's Am I the Only One? That's right. Oh God, what a fucking shitty song. Anyway, so we're back. We're finally back to kick some tail. DK.
Donkey Kong.
Yeah, there we go.
Funny enough, I was watching the Donkey Kong videos last night.
Which ones?
The original Donkey Kong Country, where he just talks about the music.
Oh yeah.
And then at the end, he's like, "Yeah, the gameplay's good too."
Yeah, that's a good one. I rewatched. I've been rewatching his stuff too. I don't remember because I watched the Sonic Generations one, and I've been ritualistically watching a Shenmue 3 video because it never fucking gets old to me. that game is so fucking weird and bad, and his video is hilarious. And then all of his Dark Souls videos are great too. I regularly quote, "This guy is fucking bumper cars," way more than I should. But you know, that's not what we're here to talk about today. We're here to talk about an all-timer and a movie that's not quite that. But we're going to start. This is, as you know, this is Justin's episode, so he's the one that really delves into it. I will say, I did, when I rewatched American Werewolf in London, I watched it with the commentary by David Naughton and Griffin Dunn, who were the David and, what was his friend's name? Was his friend's name Jack? Jack, yeah. Who were David and Jack, respectively. So that was kind of entertaining. It's one because this is a movie I've seen a few times in the past year or two, so I figured I might as well watch the commentary. And it was pretty fun. It's up there with. It's not as good as like the commentary for The Thing with John Carpenter or Kurt Russell, which if and when we cover that one.
What do you mean if? You know we're gonna do that.
Okay. But then we got to talk about the prequel.
Yeah, and I got to tell you how much it's better than the original.
And then we also have to talk about The Thing from Another World.
Me?
See, so if we cover The Thing, that's a convergence of two of our rules.
And then we got to play the game.
God damn it! That's we don't have that as a rule. First of all, second of all.
Okay, it's now a rule.
Okay, shut up.
We have to stream the game.
No. Okay, so. That's a convergence of two of our rules because we have the rule where if we watch a movie and it has a remake, we watch both. And then if it has a movie and it has one sequel, we watch both. So that's a convergence. So that's three movies. That's The Thing from Another World, The Thing, and The Thing. So that's
The Thing and The Thing.
Cool, I guess. At least
a prequel, a sequel, and a
remake.
A remake.
Yeah. But this is an American Werewolf in London. We're
London.
talking about, which is
he sure had some funding.
Which is a terrible movie.
No, it's not.
So
how dare you?
No, it's really good. Before Justin goes on his spiel, I'm just gonna give my thoughts on it real quick. Yeah, did you rewatch Paris too?
I did, but
awesome. Okay,
in like pieces.
Good. So American Werewolf in London is really good. I watched it, I think, for the first time in like 3 years ago, which was a huge blind spot for me, and I immediately loved it. It was when I got that Arrow 4K set, actually, that I watched it. 4K looks great. Sounds great. It's just a really solid movie. I think in one of my Letterboxd reviews, I said it's like the perfect blend of like horror, comedy, and tragedy. And it's a shame that it's directed by John Landis, but you know that's just That's what happens. I guess in 1981, nobody realized that he'd basically be responsible for, to put it kindly, manslaughter. So that's cool. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and let Justin take it away. What do you think of it, and what's it about?
Oh, this fucking movie. First of all, the best looking werewolf to ever exist on a screen.
And might I say, the best transformation sequence too.
And yeah, arguably the best transformation ever done. Because you've got cool looking transformations that they've done. Like, I don't know if you ever saw the Netflix show Hemlock Grove.
I think I've seen the scene from it, but I
The
didn't
transformation
see the show.
in that was pretty fucking cool. I love how they explode in the quarry to transform. That's awesome. Because those are werewolves. I guess the howling transformation is cool too. I don't know. To me, that one's just too funny. And because the way the woman acts during it, while it's happening, makes me laugh too much, so I can't take that one seriously. The transformation in Bad Moon is also good. I don't know why people say that one sucks. Also not a bad-looking werewolf.
And I also want to say, I think part of what makes that werewolf design so good, and David and Griffin were talking about it in the special feature in the commentary, it's because John Landis decided to go with just a wolf instead of like a wolf man.
Yeah.
Which is also funny that the movie explicitly references like Lon Chaney's Wolfman. I think that's pretty funny. But yeah, John Landis wanted it to just be a wolf. And then the other thing too is it's like the first Alien where you don't really see it. Like you don't really see like explicit shots of it. You kind of see it like in the distance and quick like cuts and shit.
Yeah, that fucking the subway. I love that subway kill.
Yeah, it's
that
very
terrified
well done.
me as a child when I first saw the movie.
That shot where you're on the POV as he's going up the escalator, or it's not a POV shot, but like that overhead shot, and you just see it coming in, just creeping in, and I'm just like, man, that's good. That's it's like an alien.
And the sound it makes.
It works. Yeah, its howl is very distinct for a werewolf, and that's something that's kind of lost in the sequel. And I hesitate to call it a sequel, but because then it just kind of becomes a generic howl. We'll get to that
We'll
though.
get there.
But
But anyways, fucking this one is just such a good movie.
and like the werewolf transformation aside, the effects in general are very well done.
Yeah.
Rick Baker is fucking amazing. He's done a lot of Cronenberg. He's done a lot of work with Cronenberg. I don't want to talk out of my ass here, but I don't remember which exact ones he's done with Cronenberg. But let me run through that real quick.
Run through.
Oh, I forgot he did The Exorcist, but he was uncredited for that. Pretty sure. Let me see a full filmography. What are you doing? Ooh, he did Batman Forever.
Batman Forever.
And he did the makeup design on Tropic Thunder.
Oh boy.
Oh, that's incredible. That's I love that. That's great. Hold on, let me see.
Man, we're gonna have a long sidetrack section.
No.
I got a lot to say.
No, I don't. Sidetrack. We cut that out.
No, we don't.
Yeah, we did. Or am I getting it mixed up with somebody else? I'm pretty sure.
Okay, well, while you look for that. Okay, so American Werewolf in London. What a great fucking movie. So this is about two friends, David and Jack. And they're just backpacking through Europe, as college kids do, I guess. I don't know, I didn't go to college. So they're just riding through the countryside of England because David wanted to go there first. Because he's like, it's awesome. But Jack's like, no, we should have gone to Amsterdam or whatever. Is that what he said?
Yeah, more or less.
Because he just wants to party and see girls. Even though there's a girl back home he's like convinced he's going to get or something.
Yeah.
But anyways, they're in the back of a truck with some sheep. Because I guess walking's too hard. I don't know, because he wanted to see the countryside instead of the cities. And it's cold. And they make it a point to say that.
It is cold.
So they're walking and squawking, telling some bad jokes.
Walking and squawking, yeah, just like the joke you just told.
Yep. I forgot the knock knock joke, but it wasn't that funny. So then it gets dark and it starts raining and shit. So they go to a pub, and it's like shit's called the Slaughtered Lamb. Would you avoid a place called the Slaughtered Lamb? Because
Not necessarily.
I wouldn't.
I think that's a cool
But
name.
I like how Jax just looks at the sign and is
he's
like,
like,
"Where's the lamb?"
Yeah, where's the lamb?
It's just a wolf's head on a spear. So they go in, everyone's having fun until they walk in, and it's just dead silence, like some fucking Western movie. And then they try to get food, and she's like, "There's no food." Do you have coffee? There's no coffee. Do you have tea? No, but I can make you some. Well, then you have fucking tea, you asshole.
Well, they don't sell it, but they
don't
got it.
sell it. It's just a little. And what kind of bar doesn't have food? They need to be on bar rescue. John Taffer needs to get in there and be like, "We're taking all this down. What is this fucking pentagram on the wall? You think that brings in customers?"
What's extra funny is somebody, I think James from Dead Meat pointed out that when he gets mad, he sounds like Master Shake. And I looked it up. And I was like, no, fuck, because I used to watch Bar Rescue with Mom. And I looked up a scene of him getting mad, and sure enough, he sounds just fucking like Master Shake, man.
Oh my God, I never thought of
it.
that.
It is so weird. He sounds just like him.
Anyway, so they're in this pub. They're feeling not that comfortable, but then one of the dudes starts telling them a joke. Because, who the fuck said remember the Alamo first?
I think it was Griffin. It was Jack.
I don't remember why he said it. Oh, because the star. Because they're talking about the fucking pentagram on the wall. Well, they don't say pentagram. They just say 5-pointed star. And then fucking Jack's being like, well, maybe it's a Texas thing. So when she brings him the tea, he's like, remember the Alamo. And she's like, what the fuck you say to me? And she slaps the shit. No. She's just like, beg your pardon. And then the dude that's drinking and playing chess starts telling a joke about a plane that's going to crash because it's too heavy. So, fuck, I can't remember what everyone says. Anyway, the end of the joke is to lighten the plane, the American throws the Mexican out and says, remember the Alamo. And then everyone laughs. And then Jack's like, what's the star on the wall for? And everyone gets quiet.
Because they're all laughing. That's a really good scene, too. Because they're all laughing, and Jack's laughing. And he's like, hey, what's the star on the wall for? And then, just all the air gets sucked out of the fucking room.
Yeah.
It's a really good bit.
And then Dave is just like, man, I guess we should leave. And then, do they hear the howl while they're there?
No.
No, they don't. Okay.
No.
And then, the waitress or bar girl, whatever, she's like, no, you can't let them leave. And then they're just like, no, you go. There's nothing for you here. But keep clear of the moors. Stay on the road. Beware the moon.
Beware the moon.
You gotta put a quote for this one. There's too many good ones. You can't.
There are a
skip
lot
that.
of good ones. But
And then, so they get the fuck on out of there, and they're like, maybe there's something else down the road. So they keep going. And they're just doing some more fucking talking, not paying attention. And of course, they walk into the moors, and it starts pouring rain, like it's been these past few days.
yeah.
It's been fucking great.
Yeah.
And then, except yesterday when I drove in it. But it was cool. I was picking up a sound bar that paid off very handsomely. Except now the horror games kind of scare me a little extra more because I think something's behind me.
Yeah, that's what happens.
And I positioned the subwoofer in a better spot than in front of me, so now it fucking vibrates the entire room. It's awesome. But yeah, these idiots step off the road and get lost. It starts pouring rain. Then they start hearing howling and growling. And then you get another good scene where they're remembering what the dude said in the bar, and then they look down at their feet and just see that they're in the grass. They're like, "Oops." Yeah, oops. Yeah, big fucking oops.
Yeah, it's real big oops.
So then they keep hearing the howling, and then it like cuts back to the bar, and you can hear the howling there too. And the woman's like, "We need to go to them. You can't just let them die like this." And they're like, "Oh, I don't hear nothing," and then it howls again, and I just love how everyone's like so tense in that scene, and it's so good.
Yeah, it's really well done.
Because it blends the comedy and horror so well that you don't even care that some of it's kind of stupid at some points. But anyways, they hear the growling and they finally see what it is, and they're like, "Is that a big fucking dog?" It's like, "That's not a dog, or is it a wolf?" So they're just like, "Oh, go the other way," and then it starts circling them and shit, and David trips like a dumbass, but it saves his life in the end. And the fucking werewolf mauls Jack in a great attack scene. So I don't know why a lot of werewolf movies like to put most of their kills like off screen. Well, this one does too, but you got to have at least one good one up front, and this one certainly did.
Yeah.
Because then you get the funny one later at the end where he just he busts through that door and just pops off that detective's head.
Yeah.
But we'll get to that. So yeah, Jack is fucking mauled. He's in fucking pieces, and David took off. And then he decides to have a conscience and turns around. You just see Jack just lay there fucking destroyed. It's like fucking art did something to him.
Yeah, a little bit.
But then the fucking wolf jumps David and scratches his face and his chest, and then finally the people from the bar showed up and shot the wolf, and he's dead. And David watches him transform into a human as he passes out. And then he wakes up in the hospital. What did they say, like 8 weeks?
Yeah,
8 weeks or something like that. He's been asleep. And he's like, "What the fuck? Where's Jack?" So he starts like getting all pissy and panicky. And then we get to meet Nurse Price, the other main character of this movie, or Alex, as she prefers to be called. Yeah. She just treats him as a fucking child while he's in the hospital having these freaky ass dreams.
Yeah, he starts having hallucinations and stuff, yeah.
That are just really well done. I like the running through the woods one in where he attacks the deer. That's cool. And then the whole the fucked up one where his whole family gets massacred by Nazi werewolves.
By Nazi werewolves, yeah. And they were talking in the commentary about how that confused a lot of people. Like, they didn't understand.
I was definitely confused the first time I watched it.
And it's like, no.
It's like, it was just a dream. I just love how much they shot up the kids, too. Like, why? Why was it necessary? But anyways, so he wakes up, and then it turns out he's still dreaming because the werewolf pops up in the Nazi werewolf pops up in his hospital room and stabs Alex, and he's like, "No, this girl I just met." But he wakes up and the nurse is there, and he was like, "Oh, read to me. I can't sleep, and I'm a fucking baby."
Goo goo gaga. That's when he has the Nazi werewolf dream, too.
Yeah. And so then he wakes up another day, and fucking Jack's corpse is sitting right there asking for a piece of toast. A piece of toast.
And this is what I mean when I say the best effects in general, because that it looks fucking real.
It looks fucking amazing.
It looks like so good, man. That little dangling bit off of his jaw. I'm just like, how the fuck did he do that?
The inner throat looks too.
How did he do that shit, man? Very good.
And
very
the acting at that part too, just how like taken aback David is by seeing this, and it's like, what the fuck is going on? So then Jack lays it all out that they were attacked by a lycanthrope. werewolf. And then that now since he died an unnatural death, he's forced to walk the earth in limbo until the werewolf's curse is ended. So he informs David that now he's going to become a werewolf, and that the best thing to do is to kill himself because he's going to hurt people whether he likes it or not. And David starts freaking out and panicking because he doesn't like this. I mean, well, first Jack tells him about everyone that went to his funeral, and Debbie Klein cried a lot, but then she ended up going home with some other dude. And that they ran off somewhere, apparently. But that's a side story. That should have been the origin of American Werewolf in Paris.
Yeah, well, it wasn't.
But anyways, so David's freaking out. He calls the nurse in and then is like, I'm a werewolf. And then he kisses her. And it's, I don't know, it's weird.
Yeah, it's yeah.
I mean, more so on her part than his, because his behavior is reasonable, but hers like, I'm gonna take you home. I'm gonna take care. No, she's just that I can fix you, girl.
Because that's another thing that David's talking about in the commentary. He's like, why? He's like, why would she do any of this? Like this man is clearly not well. Why the fuck would you take him home? And it's just, well, why not?
So yeah, David gets discharged from the hospital, and Alex is just like, "Oh, you can come stay with me. I'll take care of you." So they take him to the store, and food's outrageously priced. Apparently, I couldn't tell because I don't know how European transactions work.
Yeah, I don't either. Europe's weird,
but I'm pretty sure stuff was cheap back then in that time.
Ah, well.
Not where now only $100 gets you 1 week of food.
Well,
yeah.
I mean, it was all, well, to speak on that, when we used to buy groceries, or when we would buy groceries, I want to say about 5-6 years ago, somewhere around there. It was before COVID for sure, I think. It would be about $100 for a week. Well, usually like $120, $150, but that's because we were going to HEB. If we were going to Fiesta, it probably would have been like $80. Fiesta's cheap as shit. I love Fiesta so much, but we were going to HEB, so it was like regularly between like $1 and $150 a week. If we went to Target, it was closer to fucking $200.
Fuck Target.
But that was you know. So that's the thing is, I know things have gotten expensive, but like they've always been expensive. Ever since I've been a child, I've watched as things got more expensive. There's nothing you can do about corporations price gouging.
We have to pay $70 for base games now.
Yeah, that's well, adjusted for inflation, that's cheaper than games in the 90s. Believe it or not, because games in the 90s were $70 or $80. Because cartridges were expensive to produce, and $80 in 1995 money is a lot more expensive than $80 today. So
at least PS1 games were cheaper.
Yeah, PS1 games were like 50 or 40.
Yeah, they'd max out at 40 or 50.
Yeah, it was somewhere around there, and then it went up to 60 with the 360 PS3 era, and then with the PS5 era, it went up to 70, and that was. That's how it was, and now it's how it still is. Digital games should be cheaper than physical games, but whatever.
Thank you, Game Pass, at least.
Yeah, I guess.
Shit, I snag a bunch of shit on sale. I got all the first 4 Devil May Cries, all of them, for just $14.
I forgot you like bad games, Justin.
How is Devil May Cry bad?
I don't like Devil May Cry.
Oh my god, what is
Devil May Cry is one of those games that, like, because I tried to play 1 and 3. I didn't like 1 because I'm like, this is a little too old. Then I tried to play 3, and I was like, man, maybe I just don't like Devil May Cry. Like, maybe that's what it is.
You gotta try 4 and 5.
Well, see, I like Dante. I like the characters. The story's fucking stupid and crazy. It's just, I don't like the 1-button combat system. I don't know.
It's more than 1 button sometimes.
Because like in the first game, it's like the timing of how you press circle. He does different combos, and I'm like,
yeah, well, that's how all of them are. But
I'm like, I don't want
you get more buttons to push when you use all the alternate weapons and shit.
Yeah, I'm sure, like, if I took the time to master it, I'd probably like it more, but on a surface level, is Devil May Cry? I don't know. I don't know. I like Devil May Cry and God of War ripoffs more than the actual games sometimes. Actually, I do really like God of War, so that's why I'm saying, like, I'm surprised I don't like Devil May Cry. I really think it's just that one button shit.
I
I
think
don't
it's
like
because it
the.
relies so heavily on the style system that you have to be like, you have to actually think about what you're doing rather than enjoy it.
See, but Doom Eternal's like that too, and I fucking love Doom Eternal.
Well,
Like,
Doom Eternal, you're just shooting shit.
yeah, but like you have to like change weapons constantly and grenade certain enemies and to where it kind of becomes like a combat puzzle every time.
Yeah,
You know
but
what I mean? But I guess that's different than
Than
trying to like
comboing
get
and,
than
like,
trying to get a high combo.
keeping
Yeah,
a
that's
style
a good point.
meter up.
Yeah. Anyway, that's your first sidetrack segment. Is us? We went from talking about how groceries have always kind of been expensive to video games, and
Comboing.
then Devil May Cry. That's what you listen for, right? That's why you're here. That's what you're here for. What part of the fucking movie were? Oh, we were on the part
The
where
grocery store.
he goes home with
Alex
Alex
takes her new puppy home.
I mean, basically. That's basically what happens. God,
Get-
she is 100% that kind of woman. Oh, why can't I find someone like that? God, that's all I need. Is a woman to just be like, oh yeah, I can. I'm not gonna fix you, but I'll try. I'll do something.
Fucking, you hear a knock at your door one day and it's Rhea Ripley and she just picks you up and says, "You're mine now."
I listen. I
Takes
can't.
you to her car.
I literally couldn't protest. That's not. Like there's literally nothing I could do in that situation. I'd just be like, oh, fuck it, we ball. I'm not like I can't. That's it. I start writing mom fucking postcards from
I
Australia.
bet you're wondering how I got here.
Yeah. Oh, can't wait to dream about that later. All right. Anyway, let's keep going, Justin.
So Alex takes him to the flat, and it's a weird little apartment that has a big door, and then her door is right there. So she gives him the tour, and then they go in the bedroom, and she's like, "Well, I'm gonna shower." And then, well, before that, she gives him this like little speech of she's not in the habit of bringing strange American men home, but she finds him very attractive and sad. And she's had several lovers in her past. One was a one-night stand, and I forgot what she said about the other one. Basically,
Yeah, I
she's
don't
a
remember
hopeless romantic that always gets fucked in the end.
It'd be like that.
So then you get their shower sex scene, and then they fuck some more in the bed, and then David's like, "I need to get up," and there's Jack again, and looking
Looking like a piece of broccoli. Looking like the Green Giant.
Green Giant, or the fucking broccoli soldiers on that one episode of fucking Powerpuff Girls.
Yeah. Classic episode.
I don't know why I still remember that. But anyways, so she's like, "Oh, nice, good job doing it with the nurse, but you still got to kill yourself. The full moon's tomorrow. Sucks to suck, my guy." But no, David's like, just fuck off, Jack. You can't tell me what to do. I'ma be me, and you do you.
That's how you do it.
Yeah,
That's Justin's releasing his mixtape after this episode.
yeah.
Anyway,
Is
so what happens next?
Then Alex comes in. She's like, "David was here," and it's like, "Yep, I'm a werewolf. You're gonna have to shoot me with a silver bullet." Blah blah blah.
Yeah, classic.
And she's like, "Man, you're so pathetic. I love you."
Yeah. Living the dream, David is.
So then Alex has to go work a double shift, and she's like, "You stay here."
You stay here and be a good doggy. Shit.
So that he gets locked out at first, and he's like, "Well, shit. Conveniently enough, her window is right outside the building, so he was able to sneak in. Why she had it unlocked, I don't know."
Why not?
But anyways, David's bored as fuck walking around the apartment.
To a set to CCR's Bad Moon Rising.
Bad moon rising.
That's not how it goes, but good job. I appreciate the effort, but that is not how it goes.
But anyways, yeah, so he's bored. He's watching TV. Forgot what he watched. He watched soccer for a little bit, I think. He's like, fuck this shit, I'm out. Then he looks in the fridge. He's like, I'm still not hungry. What else does he do? He walks outside and a cat hisses at him. Or that was when Alex was leaving. Or when he was sneaking back in. Yeah, animals can already tell that there's something fucked up about him.
Yeah, because the cat be hissing. Yeah, he was when he gets stuck. Yeah.
And then, so he decides to read a book. And of course, nothing good comes ever reading a book. So this is when he starts to change.
Yeah. Really good scene.
Oh, he's like, oh God, I'm on fire.
I'm burning up.
And he strips all his clothes off and his fucking hands start stretching and all the bone cracking sounds are just fucking gross. And you can tell that shit fucking hurts.
Yeah, David Naughton really sells it.
Yeah. So you just get a good long transformation scene that is just great. And it ends with, again, the best looking werewolf to ever probably exist on screen.
Yep. Iconic is I think is an understatement, honestly.
I'd like the howling werewolves if their ears weren't so pointy. The dog soldier werewolves are perfect too. The werewolves in Underworld look good, and so do the Lycans. Bad Moon werewolf looks good. The Beast of Bray Road werewolf looks stupid. There's this other werewolf movie called Late Phases. Those werewolves just look like goblins, and it's fucking weird. The werewolf in Goosebumps looks good.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah.
I can't think of any more off the top of my head. Anyway, there's a sidetrack list of werewolves. Woo. So yeah, David transforms. We get to hear that awesome howl again, and then we see Alex in the hospital fucking with this stupid little shit kid that says nothing but no. And just like, know this, and fucking give him some sleeping pills. Shut up.
Good one, Justin.
So,
punt him. Get him out of here.
Punt him. And then David's on the hunt. He's not looking for a shunt. I don't know.
Good one.
He finds 3 homeless dudes that have a dog. I forgot what the dog's name was.
Doggy.
Yeah, sure. It just reminded me of that part in AVPR with the dog that brings the hand.
Oh, yeah, speaking of bad movies.
Hey, that is not a bad movie. It's just poorly shot.
Mean, it's not a great movie, Justin.
There's nothing wrong with it.
It's not a great movie.
It's fine.
It's just not a bad movie.
It's
but
just
it's
too
not a
dark.
great movie. It's definitely too dark. It's way too fucking dark.
So yeah, David munches on the homeless. And I could have sworn there was a part where like the dog is growling at him and it snarls. That werewolf snarls at him, but then I was like, no, that happens in Dog Soldiers. But then I don't know, I just thought my mind was like replacing the images because I could swear I saw the American Werewolf in London werewolf's head growling at a dog at some point. I don't know. But anyways, then David finds this couple that's trying to play a prank on another couple. He fucks them up. And then we get the awesome subway chase and kill where he demolishes this businessman. It's like, I shall report this. You can't be making noise in the subway. And I like how they're just like blatantly advertising a porno theater on the wall. Like, kids walk by that every day too.
Yeah. What was it? What's the name of the movie called? Like next...
Something orgy.
Something till Wednesday.
a great orgy till Wednesday, or I don't fucking know. It said orgy in it. That's all I know. That just reminded me of the fucking the hentai booths at anime conventions, and how they're just out in the open while there's kids walking around too. And I'm like, why? Oh, but anyways. So yeah, as we said earlier, the scene has a bunch of good POV shit with the werewolf chasing this dude, and then he gets him. So David wakes up in the zoo of all places, and he's in the wolf pen. His werewolf knows his own kind, so he slept in there.
Classic.
Then he pretends to be a talking bush to get some balloons from a kid, which I don't know. Then the kid goes to this woman and says, "A naked American man stole my balloons."
Which is another iconic line.
And then he steals this red coat from a woman. It looks fucking hilarious when he does it.
Yeah.
He just like runs super fast
He
across the
he
screen
runs super fast, and then the next scene is him sitting
at the bus station, the bus stop.
with just the coat on. And let me tell you something, my man is killing it in that fucking coat. He looks good as hell in that shit. That shit is like, it's almost like it was tailored for him. It's crazy.
So he gets home. Alex is like, "Where the fuck you been? You're supposed to be on your leash when I got home." Because, you know, she was feeling frisky.
I mean,
But the main doctor calls and he's like, "Have you seen the news? 6 murders last night," or however fucking many. Yeah, 6. And then oh wait, I think I missed the part where he goes to investigate at the town. Yeah, the doctor goes back because none of the police reports and shit add up, because he kind of believes what David's been telling him about all the weird cover-up bullshit that's been going on. So he goes and investigates the slaughtered lamb himself. And one of the residents there tells him that the boy's in danger. It's like, this place is cursed. And then the other one comes out, "That's enough. That's enough."
that's exactly how he says it too. It's crazy.
He just morphs into a werewolf slightly. But yeah. So then she's like, "Okay, I'll take him to the hospital, don't worry." But the taxi driver tells David about the murders, and he's like, "I did it." So then he like tries to run to a cop to get arrested so he can go to jail because he doesn't want to hurt anybody. And he's like, what did he say? Queen Elizabeth, a boy.
Yeah, he says Queen Elizabeth. What part is this? Is this when
where he's in the trying to get arrested?
Yeah, he says Queen Elizabeth's a cunt. Prince Charles is a faggot, which I can say that. He says, and then he says cunt, like he just starts
shit,
yelling
fuck,
obscenities.
bitch.
But I think he says Queen Elizabeth's a cunt. I'm pretty sure he says that or something. They were talking over it in the commentary. But and then it's funny because there's a part where Griffin Dunn's like, "Did you say Prince Charles is a faggot?" And he's like, I did. Yeah. He's like, John told me to. He's like, that's what he had me do. And I was like, that's pretty funny.
Yeah, but the cop's not buying it. He just thinks he's pranking him. Early YouTube pranksters, am I right?
Okay, just keep talking, Justin. I gotta check something.
Fucking Jack Doherty in training. God, I hate that little fucking slime ball. Okay. Anyways.
All right, okay. Keep it on topic.
On topic. Okay, so David doesn't get arrested, but he runs off. He sees Jack again, and Jack's like, "Look, a porno theater. Let's go in." So they go in there. And they're watching the movie, and there's just, I don't know, it's such an awkward looking scene. Like, why would you publicly go watch porn? First of all,
this was before the internet, Justin.
I know. But
Secondly, it was hilarious because in the porno, that guy walks in and he's like, "I told you, I never wanted to catch you doing this again." And then he's like, "You didn't tell me." And then he's like, "I'm not talking to you, I'm talking to the girl." And she's like, "I've never seen you before." He's like, "Oh, sorry." And then he just leaves. It's so fucking weird. Great.
So yeah, and then Jack is just some more rotten. He looks like Evil Ash at this point.
He really fucking does. I think it's like an animatronic head that Griffin Dunn was controlling. He was controlling the mouth and then doing the voice behind it.
So Jack introduces David to all the people he killed, the homeless men, the couple, and the English businessman who's really fucking pissed. So then they all suggest ways that David could kill himself. He could just shoot himself, put the gun in his mouth. Or he could drown, get run over, get electrocuted, a fire. I don't know. I just like how the wife of the couple, she's so cheery about everything she says. It's like she doesn't even care that she's dead. She's just dying as she lived, I guess.
I mean, that's, yeah. Good for her.
But, so the sun goes down, the moon comes out, and the wolf gets a little horny, so he's got to pop out.
I don't think that's exactly what happens, but I'll allow it.
He gets a craving for some jerky. So he eats the people in the hotel in the fucking theater. God damn it!
Yeah, it ain't a hotel. I was gonna say, you silly Billy.
I don't know why while just trying to describe this movie, I keep thinking about the 4 rooms. That's why I said hotel.
Oh yeah, I see.
But anyways, David's going all you can eat buffet on this place, and then everyone starts panicking, saying there's a rabid dog in the palaka.
Thank you.
And they go. They're like, get the SWAT people, call the Covenant. The elites come to save them, and they cut off David's head with an energy sword, and then they go wart, and it's the movie.
I don't think
ends.
any of that happens, Justin. I'm gonna be honest.
Okay, no, David fucking busts through the door like the Kool-Aid Man, snatches the detective's head off, and just fucking tosses it. And then for some reason, a gigantic majority of the public decides to just off themselves by causing the most gigantic, unnecessary pileup you've ever seen. Like, I'm pretty sure this scene inspired Final Destination 2. Like, it's that ridiculous of a car accident.
It might have.
People are dying, getting run over. Like, at this point, David's not the threat. The people are just hurting themselves. So David's werewolf is in panic mode, and it doesn't know what to do because he's the little toaster lost in the big city at this point.
Good one.
He walks into an alley, and he's cornered by the SWAT people, and Alex is like, no, it's David. I must go to him. And she runs past all the people with guns and knocks them over because she takes no shit.
Yeah, she really doesn't.
And then she's like, David, I can help you. You don't have to do this. I love you.
He's doing a really good impression of her, by the way.
And the wolf stops snarling for a little bit, and then it just lunges, and he gets shot. And then you just see Alex looking all sad and defeated, like, God damn it, there goes another one. She's like fucking Nancy from Weeds. Every guy she marries dies.
Jesus. So that's my favorite part of the movie.
And then the movie ends, and then you get this very upbeat song.
That's my favorite part of the movie is when she tells David that she loves him, and then there's that bit where like you see there's like a slight recognition in his eyes.
It does sad puppy face.
And then so that leads that begs a question. Do we think that David realized what he was and decided to basically do suicide by lunging at her because he could have killed her?
Yeah.
Like honestly, or did the animal instincts just take over? You know, or did he have any free will at the end there, I guess, is the question.
I think just in that moment, hearing her say that snapped him back for a slight second, but then it took back over.
Okay.
But your idea also works, too, because it could be just like, yeah, I know I can never live peacefully with you, so bye.
Yeah, basically. Because I feel like he definitely could have killed her.
Yeah.
I think he definitely could have ended it, but he didn't. And yeah, that's an American Werewolf in London.
Yep, what a great movie.
Keep talking, John.
You know, speaking of great movies, Terrifier 3. Have you
More
seen
like-
it yet?
More like poo-poo shitty pee, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, I had to see that twice.
Oh.
Just a solid movie.
Yeah. I've heard it's
Still
good.
haven't watched it.
No,
Why?
because I don't have time.
Oh,
I watched. There's too many other movies I want to see right now. I want to see Heretic. I'm gonna go see Godzilla -1 tomorrow.
Heretic's not out yet.
But I know, but I want to. Is what I'm saying. Godzilla -1 I'm seeing tomorrow again.
You've already seen that. Go see Terrifier.
I don't
instead. But the fact that they managed to top the second one in kills is just ridiculous. And like the first time I went, there was this little group of girls that just kept walking in and out, like every time a kill would happen. And then me and my girlfriend were just cracking up at one point, and I swear some people looked back at us like we were fucking insane.
See, that was me watching The Substance.
And
So,
the fucking soundtrack of that movie, just why did they make it so good? And then the fucking the end credits song is just I showed it to you. You know how good it is.
it is very good.
I tried to show it to Josh, and then he sent me back some fucking menu music from a gacha game he plays on his phone, and I was like, this music has no feeling compared to what I just sent you. You're just showing me menu music. He was just like, wow.
Yeah.
It is, though. Oh, my God, that song in that movie. Now I just want the fourth one already.
Well, you ain't gonna get it because we got to talk about An American Werewolf in Paris.
Oh, boy.
So, you don't remember a lot of it?
I don't. I
Okay, well, I
remember.
just watched it. Had to watch it on Amazon Video
Yep.
because for some reason I was gonna buy it on Apple. I was gonna buy it and it would be a permanent fixture in my library because why the fuck not? But I couldn't, so I just watched it on Amazon, and it was very clearly a DVD transfer. And it's like down to it being encoded at 60 hertz, which that's a fucking nerdy video freak thing to care about, like me. That like only people like me care about that shit. But I mean, it still looks fine. But that's besides the point because there's a lot of this movie that didn't look fine. So listen, I'm gonna read you my Letterboxd review here because this is how I feel about it. I gave it 1.5 stars.
Awesome.
And I said, comparisons to An American Werewolf in London aside, it's almost impressive how utterly straight-to-video this movie feels, despite being a theatrical release. There's a bunch of awful, and I mean awful, licensed music. There's inconsistent French accents. There's some very spotty acting. This movie really has it all. I think if it didn't constantly reference and try to tie into the aforementioned Landis picture, it could have been a fun best of the worst type movie. Instead, it's a weird, definite product of the 90s that is also a little too predictable. But hey, at least it had a happy ending, I think. So, it's like I said, if it had been a little more, because you know me, I like shit that's off the wall. I like shit that takes that kind of just says, hey, forget everything that came before. Like I like Jason Goes to Hell. I like Halloween 3. You know me. But this one, if it didn't try to tie itself into the first movie and then also like introduce weird lore shit, it could have been better. I mean, I'm not saying by any means I would have made it like a good movie. But it definitely wouldn't. I definitely would have had more fun with it. Like it's almost a fun, like a fun bad movie, but instead it's just kind of bad. And I feel bad for anybody that saw this in theaters because it just feels so much like a straight to video. The effects are fucking awful. The licensed music. Oh my god, dude. There's like Walking on the Sun by Smash Mouth is played at one point. There's like some Discount Deftones shit going on. It's not good. Like it's like weird none of the characters are really that cool. The main character kind of has like really awkward line reads that I think are funny, though. At least I guess.
I asked for it rare, bloody.
Yeah.
What a great read.
He also had one where he said something like she's like, oh, go away, and it's only because I care about you. He's like, well, you have a weird way of showing it, and I'm just like, that's a fucking weird way to say that, brother. I'm gonna be honest with you. But also, just like they're just three douchey dudes. Like they're not. It's like if you took the main character from Far Cry 3 and like cloned him twice, and that's the three leads of this fucking movie. And it's not. I don't care about douchey dudes, man. Especially when you expect me to care about the main one. At least he has like a little arc, I guess. I don't know. The effects are the worst, though. It's kind of jarring going from a movie that came out 16 years prior, having effects that still hold up more than 40 years later, which is an insane sentence to say that it has been 43 years since An American Werewolf in London came out. 43 years later, that shit still holds up. The effects in Dog Soldier still hold up, and that's because that was all practical too. American Werewolf in Paris, first of all, the werewolves don't even fucking look like the werewolf from the first movie.
He looks like a pig at
They
some points.
don't look good at all. And they're CG, and then when they are practical, they look like shit. Like they look bad. And it's not great. It's also funny because I wasn't expecting to make a connection to Frontiers with this movie, but there's like a bunch of skinhead French Nazis that basically are purging what they view as undesirables, which includes Americans, which I think is really funny, by like luring them to a party on a full moon and then just, hulking out and killing everybody. So that's fun. And that's like the kind of thing that like you see in like a bad straight to DVD movie that would make me go, haha, that's funny. But like because it's ties itself and references the original.
Yeah, that makes no sense that there's a fucking Paris werewolf cult and then you're gonna have to they try to tie it to the original. Like why?
Because the way they try to tie it to the original is the main girl, who if the movie heavily implies that this girl is the daughter of Alex. That's her name.
Alex and David.
That's their daughter. It's never explicitly stated, but it's heavily implied because she sees her dead mother, and then, she has like a stepdad. But if we're going by that logic, she is 16 years old in the movie, and we see her boobs. So that's problematic lore-wise. Obviously, the actress, I'm assuming, was over 18 when the movie was filmed. But, it's problematic lore-wise. TV's Julie Bowen from Modern Family is also in the movie for like 5 seconds. And she gets killed.
I hope you know why I laughed.
Why?
Just think about what you said.
TV's Julie Bowen from Modern Family?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what she's from.
Yeah, I know, but...
Why are you laughing?
Because there's another thing we know about.
Is there?
With that name.
Oh, okay, buddy. Okay, buddy. Anyway, I'm not elaborating to the general audience.
We're not
going to
elaborate on that. That's an inside joke.
Okay. All right, buddy. Anyway, yeah, she's in this movie too for like 5 seconds and she gets eviscerated. And then she becomes a ghost and, it's the same thing where...
Oh, yeah, he sniffs her. That's how she gets introduced into the movie.
Is basically, yeah, he's like walks up to her like a dog. It's so fucking
stupid. It wasn't implying it's because she was bleeding on her period. That's why he smelled her.
I don't know, dude. I don't care.
It was so stupid.
I don't want to think about it.
But yeah, the whole point, they were going to bungee jump off the fucking, the Eiffel Tower or whatever the fuck.
Yeah.
And then what's-her-face is going to kill herself because she doesn't want to be a werewolf.
Yeah.
But he bungees and saves her, and she lands perfectly fine, and he flings back up and hits his head.
By the way, the effects on the bungee, like the green screen effects, are fucking terrible.
Yeah.
It looks so bad. Oh,
That's what Jeepers Creepers Reborn looked like.
oh.
Oh.
They were really greenlighting anything in the fucking 90s, man. Let me
So
tell
yeah,
you.
this one just force feeds you tropes from the original movie,
And like that's
expecting you to give a fuck, and you just don't.
so. This is also in a post-Scream world, and maybe part of me thinks that they figured, oh, we can just reference the first movie and then that'll be the joke, right? But like, it doesn't really work that way.
Yeah, this one did feel like it tried a lot to have like Scream humor.
Yeah, because the jokes in the original one are funny, and that's the thing is you make the jokes better in this, and then you have a better movie. Because there was a couple parts that made me laugh. There's a part where like, I don't remember the fucking main character's name. He's going to see the girl, or like he gets taken away by the girl at the party, and then his friend like hands his drink to this other guy who already has like 3 drinks. And the dude's like holding them all. He just kind of looks at him for a second, then he just starts drinking them all at the same time. That got a chuckle out of me. There's another joke in there that got a laugh out of me that I can't explicitly remember, but I know I chuckled at least. So you know, it could have been a fun, trashy, shitty, straight to DVD movie, and instead it's just and it has like again like weird like parody movie tropes like. Like the part where we see the girl topless is after the main character gets bitten by a werewolf and she's like, you have to relax, and she takes her shirt off and she's like, she puts his hands on her boobs and she's just like, this will help you, right? And I'm just like, am I watching fucking Scary Movie? What is this? Like, this is like, am I watching not another teen movie? What the fuck am I watching? I don't know what's going on, man. This doesn't work. Like, this isn't like. This feels weird. It's so like a product of the late 90s that it's ridiculous. Like from the licensed music to like I said in my review, to everything about it just feels so fucking like late 90s in like the worst way. But you know, I'm not like I gave it 1.5 stars, so it's not completely irredeemable, but it's not great. It's just just 2 shades above terrible. But you know, the effects are dog water, and it kind of has a happy ending because one of the lore thing in this movie is that if you kill the person that turned you into a werewolf and eat their heart, then you're cured, and you can stop seeing the ghost. But there's a part where the main character shoots and kills the guy that killed his friend, and then his friend gets to go move on. And I'm like, okay, then why didn't Jack move on? I guess, is it because David didn't kill him? Like, this is, you're introducing lore shit that doesn't jive with the... Anyway, so that the way the movie ends is basically, he thinks he's got to kill his girlfriend, but instead he finds some other skinhead and kills him instead because he sees that there's a mark on his chest from when he stabbed him with an iron rod fence post. So, you know, he kills him as a werewolf because he falls on a serum that instantly turns you into a werewolf. That's a thing that they introduce in this movie too, by the way, that I forgot to mention. And then he becomes a werewolf, and then he fucking eats his heart out. And then there's this really weird cut to several full moons later, and it's the main character and his girlfriend who had been shot, by the way, but I guess she recovered, and they're like dressed like they're getting married. And then his douchey friend that's still alive tries to get him the ring, but it falls, and then you know they basically bungee cord off the fucking Statue of Liberty trying to get to it. And yeah, the reason I say it's a happy ending, I think, is because I don't know if she's cured, because there's a bit earlier on where it's mentioned that the main character's like, oh, well, I know your stepdad was working on a cure, but I can try to do it. But, like, it's never explicitly stated whether or not he comes up with that cure. So it feels unfinished. Like, the script is definitely half-baked. I don't know. It's something, I guess. I don't know. It's not a good movie.
It's not.
I was gonna say it's fine, but it's really not. It's not a good movie. The effects are bad. There's the kills are generally bloodless. There's an illusion that the main character fucks a dog to death while he's a werewolf. Which is
Oh, I forgot about that.
which is a very that's a very late '90s scary movie ass joke to make, and it's very odd in a movie that's kind of trying to take itself seriously.
Didn't him and the girl also fucking werewolf form?
No,
Or I'm thinking of something else.
no, there's two werewolves that fight each other. I don't see them fucking though. I think.
don't remember
Well,
what
one of his
movie.
hallucinations is basically that. Actually,
Oh,
yeah. So
yeah, that's right.
because like in the like David before him, he's getting hallucinations, because he says, "Ooh, turn into a werewolf." What a film! What a picture!
Oh,
Anyway, you know what time it is.
it's that time to go to bed. No.
No, it's time to read reviews for both of the movies. So, let's look at 1-star reviews for An American Werewolf in London.
How about we review Venom?
The Last Dance?
Yeah.
Did you watch it?
Yeah.
How was it?
I liked it.
Yeah, but you like bad movies.
Look, if you just completely separate the fact from how stupid they decided to go with the story and just enjoy the little ride that you go through with this movie, it's fun. There's nothing wrong with it. Yes, it was a stupid decision to include Null just because his comics are popular right now. But it's still a fun movie. This is the most symbiote action you get, and that's really saying something considering they already did Carnage. Like, I like this one more than Carnage.
Wow.
So let that at least try to tell you something. But again, it's fun. Tom Hardy is great, and I don't care what people say. Funny Venom is funny. He's entertaining, and parts of him were like that in the comics. You can deny it all you want, but the Venom was always a snarky little bitch. I got the little popcorn bucket with his head on it too. It was cool.
Nice. Nice.
And I unintentionally got IMAX tickets for it, so that was a nice experience. My first IMAX movie.
That's your first IMAX movie.
Yeah.
That's
It looked awesome.
that's interesting. It's very interesting. Anyway,
And then what else? I don't know. I watched a lot of things during October,
yeah, well,
but I had to end it on a good note, of course, with Halloween 4.
more like Halloween bore, dude.
More like you want an oinker for a daughter, or more like it's metal. What does that mean?
What the hell?
When Brady tries to shoot the lock off the door and he says it's metal, and Rachel's like, "What does that mean?"
Oh my god, dude! I don't even fucking. Well, I saw Halloween in theaters, the original, on Halloween Day, and I'm gonna tell you something. It wasn't hitting the same initially, and I was worried. I was
no!
I was like, oh man, do I not like this movie anymore? Like,
no!
like have I fully gone into like just like in batshit like slasher dumb shit? Like, is that did Reanimator and From Beyond break my fucking brain? Like, what the fuck? But then you get to that like second half, and then it's like, oh yeah, I remember why I like this movie. Like, I remember now. I remember why this is so good. Because yeah, those I think it's just because I'm getting older, man. Because those I could not give a fuck about anybody but Annie. Like, I was just like, Annie's the only character I like,
Totally.
and then she dies, and it made me sad. And Laurie's just kind of there, which I think it's also because this is the first time I'm watching it since like Halloween Ends and everything, and how like big of a deal Halloween Ends makes to make sure that Laurie and Michael have their final show off. And there's not really like, it's just funny that in the first movie, there's not really any beef. He's just trying to fucking kill her. Like, it's not like there's it's just kind of weird watching it in retrospect and being like, why was there so much build up to that? Like Like, why was, and then even like in Halloween 2018, it's like, why was she so like traumatized? Like, I mean, it was something that happened a lot. And I know the movie like goes to great lengths to be like, oh, well, it's because she just got paranoid after that. And I mean, that's fair and everything, but it also just feels weird. I don't know. Like,
I mean, it's not as forced as the Sally and the Chainsaw Massacre.
oh no, not even fucking close. Not even close. No. But I don't know. I think
you're gonna really tell me she was upset that what's his name got killed?
yeah, the Franklin. Yeah.
Fucking Franklin.
Fucking bitch ass fucking little shit. I think it's weird rewatching that first one now that David Gordon Green's trilogy is done. Because it's like, man, they really wanted to hype up Laurie v. Michael. And it's funny because I remember when we talked about H2O, we thought it was kind of dumb. But like H2O at least has like a satisfying final fight between the two of them. And H2O kind of makes more sense because in that timeline, they're brother and sister. Whereas in this one, it's just like, girl, move on. And then she does after her fucking daughter dies, of all fucking things. And it's just like, why couldn't you do that from the start? Like, why couldn't... it's weird. It's like the more I think about those movies, the more I'm like, yeah, I like them. I like them as like fun slashers, but like when I think about the story for too long, it starts to fall apart.
I mean, her daughter put herself in the position.
I mean, I'm not saying she did.
To save what the fuck is her? I can't remember any of their names right now. Allison.
Karen. Allison's her granddaughter. And Karen's,
Karen. Yeah. Fucking Karen. She put herself in the middle.
Oh, I know.
She could have finished Michael, but no, she's like, Poke, give me your mask.
I know, but see, that's the thing. That's the thing that I think I still stand by what I said in the Halloween Ends episode, where Halloween Ends makes me wish that Halloween Kills didn't exist, in the sense that Halloween Kills feels unnecessary because you could have had, because it would have made more sense to me if, like, let's say at the end of 2018, Karen sacrifices herself and the house burns down with Michael. Something like that. And then Laurie has the knowledge that, well, I think Michael is dead, and so I can move on from that. And also, my daughter is dead, and that's painful, but I can move on from that. 4 years later, we get Halloween Ends where Michael's still alive, because of course he is, and we go from there. And then have Halloween Ends play out the same way, and I think it would have... Halloween Kills just kind of feels like an unnecessary buffer, like that, because it sets it up, and then Ends is just like, we're going to do something completely different now. And it's like, okay. Because I remember when we were talking about Halloween Kills, the original ending was going to be Laurie leaving the hospital after hearing Michael's breathing on the phone, and like setting up like, okay, the next movie's just going to be Laurie v. Michael, right? But then David Gordon Green decided to take a U-turn, which I'm not upset about, but it's just very odd to me that like you can tell he had kind of written himself into a corner, and he was like, okay, well, I'm going to make some changes and set it 3 or 4 years later. And I like Halloween Ends. I mean, like I said, I like all three of those movies in like a dumb slasher brain kind of way. Yeah. But when I think about the story, I start to get like kind of frustrated with what could have been. And also it just kind of falls apart, especially after rewatching the first one and seeing how simple it is, and then especially with the knowledge that John Carpenter never wanted it to be more than just that one movie. Like all those things kind of swirl in my head a little bit when I think about it. But I'm glad it did end up hitting the same when it got to the end of the movie. But that was a little sidetrack on Halloween. Fun time at the pictures. Let me tell you what. I did not have as much fun as when I watched Evil Dead 2 in a theater, though. I'll tell you that. Evil Dead 2 in a theater was incredible. But yeah, fun times. That's what I did on Halloween.
Oh, for exactly 2 hours, Terrifier 3 ended up on YouTube.
How do you know for exactly 2 hours?
Because I kept track of it, because I was watching clips of it. I was just watching bits and pieces again.
Nice.
There's just so much good parts in that movie.
I believe you. Anyway, let's look at reviews for
Okay,
American
review
Werewolf
time.
in London.
Yay. So this is what? The people who hated it?
Yeah.
Yep.
Sorry, but it's overrated. I really do suggest you avoid this silly film. It really is a waste of time, and if you intend to purchase it, money. I have found that people who like this movie primarily do so based on nostalgia.
What?
The special effects are beyond belief, in effect rubbish. Okay, some of the first transformation into a wolf is rather good. The prosthetic work gives the scene a much more realistic feeling, but overall it's silly. Notice how shots of the werewolf are always kept to a few seconds only. Why? Simple, because it looks like a Muppet or something you can buy in a fancy dress store. Overall, lousy effects or not, it is still a rubbish film. Well, see, that's why we had the revolution. Let me tell you what. That's why we don't talk to Britain anymore. Nostalgia. I watched this film when I was young and I liked it, but when watching it recently, you tried to say recently. But when watching it recently, I thought, how much garbage this film really is.
How much garbage.
The acting was wooden.
Was it?
Possibly the worst movie I have ever seen.
Oh my god.
This is quite possibly one of the worst movies I've ever seen. It's billed as a comedy horror. The only thing funny about it is why anybody thinks this is a good movie. Horror part I could possibly understand because this is a horror of a movie. Absolutely no acting skills by the main characters. Absolutely no plot and makes no sense. Why did the villagers have to be so secretive about having a werewolf in their town? Why didn't they just shoot it before this crap of a movie unfold? Why does the doctor, a man of science, travel to the village to find out information of the werewolf attack, and after receiving absolutely no evidence whatsoever, all of a sudden believes that the main character is now werewolf? In fact, why does the main character believe he's a werewolf without any evidence?
I don't know, maybe the fact that he's seeing a dead guy?
Ridiculous porn scenes thrown in that have absolutely nothing to do with the movie. The main character is basically a jerk that doesn't seem to have any redeeming qualities, as the nurse falls madly in love with them after a couple of days and also believes he's a werewolf with absolutely no evidence. A very abrupt ending makes me think that they just got sick of making this movie and wanted it over with. I did too. So my man, there's a lot to unpack in that review. First of all, every movie has a plot that doesn't make sense. That's kind of why it's a movie. Every single movie, like when I was watching Halloween, there was a gaggle of drunk women next to me that were whispering amongst themselves the whole time. And one of them was like, "Why is Lori so stupid? Why doesn't she just do this or that?" And I'm like, "Bitch, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to dress up like Michael Myers, and I'm going to come into your house, okay? Catch you off guard, and then we'll see what you do. We'll set it up exactly the same way where you don't have a gun, you don't have any weapons, you're even babysitting a child. We'll set it up just like that, and then we'll see what you do in that situation."
No cell phone.
Because that's the thing, is you could say while watching a movie, "Well, that's not what I would do." Okay, are you sure? Like, are you sure that's not what you would do? Because when the chips are down, brother, shit's different.
Oh, you want to hear something stupid?
Sure.
I got drunk one night during this month.
What a surprise.
And I was looking at like Spotify's top 200 metal list.
Oh no.
There was about 10 Five Finger Death Punch songs on that list.
Oh no.
I was like, why? This is horrible.
Oh no. Well, that's too bad. Anyway, worst film I've ever seen. After half an hour, I turned off this piece of utter pig swill. I got the video from a charity shop for £1, and this morning it's going straight back. It's not too bad doing something for charity, but giving this mindless garbage even one is only because I can't give it less, so it's really for the photo on the sleeve. The national news is more frightening, but if this is supposed to be horror, it doesn't make it. And neither does it as a comedy. It just makes you feel bad. What else is there to say about a film which does nothing other than yet another excuse for four-letter language and bedroom scenes? How boring can you get? The money spent on making this film should have been given to charity. These morons have more money than sense and have total contempt for those who are tricked into viewing. I forget how like weird about sex and language people can be. Like, do you not? What did you do when you like fucked your wife to have a kid. What did you not
Well,
enjoy it?
If he's British, Family Guy accurately predicted, fucking showed that. Remember when Peter's watching the British porn and they're just laying there, not moving?
Oh yeah, that's right. I remember now. Could have been worse. They could have used sock puppets. What can be said about American Werewolf in London? First of all, the actors cannot do what their name implies. There would be far more emotion if they were cardboard stick figures with speech bubbles. Ugh. Normally, while I'm watching a movie, I will do play-by-play commentary. Normally, this annoys others. However, while we watched this movie, it was seemingly encouraged, especially when he turns into a werewolf. Oh my gosh, my head. My head, it hurts so much, I'll rip my shirt off. Yes, that'll stop it from hurting. Wait, it didn't work. Maybe if I take off my pants neatly and carefully. Honestly, this movie's plot could not be seen if it were right in front of you. It is non-existent. The film ends abruptly, and it wasn't soon enough. I'm going to keep it real with you, Chief. You talking over it, you might have missed how he said he was hot. And how else are you gonna take your fucking pants off, bro? Especially if you're trying not to fall on your fucking ass. Like, what?
This guy clearly knows what it's like to transform into a werewolf.
No, this guy's a comedian. Is what he is. Ugh. I was honestly startled to find out it was not only made into a collector's edition, but it had a sequel. And the special features, wow. Bloopers that aren't funny and don't have audio. A 15-minute long piece about the actor's hand being cast, which was dreadful, yet somehow more interesting than the film itself. Do not rent it. Nothing is worth the torture. Wow. Very, very poor, boring, and overrated movie. Makeup, acting, direction, story, everything about this movie is complete nonsense and rubbish. Oh, the horrors. I have nothing bad to say about this movie. This is one of those rare movies that happens to be atmospheric, witty, and scary all at once without any compromise. The cast was very appropriate. My favorite character was definitely the doctor, whose ice-cold demeanor was very effective. My favorite scene, the first werewolf attack on the English moors. Talk about atmosphere. Why did you give it a 1? What? You're in the wrong house, buddy. You just walked into a gay bar as a straight man. Jesus. Okay. An American Werewolf in Paris is next. There we go. This classic film. This classic work of art.
I can't imagine there are good reviews for it.
Well, we're about to find out, brother. Wow, that's way more 10s than I expected. Wow. Okay.
There's no fucking way.
Okay. Assuming these are genuine. I'm going to pretend these are genuine, okay? That's what I'm going to do. Amazing. I've seen this movie several times, and I just can't get enough. Every time I see it, I discover some new detail that I enjoy more and more each time. It combines a tasteful comedy with a sublime horror. The actors all seem right to their parts, and it brings freshness to werewolf movies.
I don't think so.
It's not just the killing. It's truly amazing.
Oh, my God.
A better werewolf movie than the critics say, this man says in all caps. An American Werewolf in Paris is capably directed by Anthony Waller. The director manages to keep the dark scenes visible in this film, which is not easy to do. Tom Everett Scott as Andy McDermott and his buddy Brad are vacationing in Paris, France, and decide to go bungee jumping off the Eiffel Tower, which is illegal and not a good idea. Then they meet Julie Depley as Seraphine Pigot, who is about to jump from the Eiffel Tower. Andy saves Seraphine but bumps his head. Later they find Seraphine's address and go to her house. They are not given a warm reception but are invited to a werewolf bar. At the bar, werewolves attack and Brad is killed. Andy is bitten and Seraphine, who has locked herself in the basement, tells Andy he will become a werewolf. Julie Depley is a really great actress and has no trouble with her role, except for that French accent. The love affair between Andy and Seraphine is believable, and the inevitable showdown. Try to think of the battle as a training exercise between American and French intelligence agents that is non-violent. I liked it American Werewolf in London better than this sequel, but I still gave the movie a 10 out of 10. Maybe an American Werewolf in Beijing is next in the trilogy. What the fuck?
This sounds like the end of Serious Sam 4 when they're talking about all the other times they saved the world.
What the fuck? Oh my, okay. Excellent reimagining of an American Werewolf in London. Jesus. This dude wrote a whole essay. I don't want to read all of this, man. I'll read the last paragraph. The plot of Paris is captivating, fairly complex,
What?
often suspenseful,
No.
and there is even an extensive subplot about a gang of Nazi-like skinheads. If they're Nazi-like, what does that make them, my friend? That makes them Nazis. Practicing eugenics in their own peculiar way. Pigot is very well developed with an intriguing backstory that would make for a good prequel. The prequel already exists. The cast is almost as good as the cast of London, with Depley being just as good as anyone in the first film. The film looks good and the locations are beautiful, although none have quite the eeriness of London's settings. It's also well edited, well directed, and has a nice metal-oriented soundtrack. What a review. Okay. Anyone want to go to Paris? Is it a full moon tonight? Oh, it doesn't matter. They can change whenever they want because of that drug. What was I thinking if it's full moon tonight? Jeez, that is a poor attempt at comedy. I really like this movie. There's romance, suspense, horror, and hot stuff. Winky face.
Hot stuff.
I like the first half of the movie when the guy saves the girl from killing herself by bungee jumping and catching her. That was really cool.
What is this, The Expendables?
The setting of this movie is in the city of love, which is Paris in France. The cemetery scenes are nice. It gives you chills not knowing what will happen there or who's behind the walls. The scenes that make you jump out of your seat is really cool. Even they got me on that scenes. His friend who died and the girl whom he killed in the cemetery but still shows themselves to the lead character, sorry I forgot his name, was really funny. The actors did a good job, plus the makeup crews. The part when they're all partying in an abandoned church, I can't believe people would do that because even though that's an abandoned church, that is still God's house. Oh my God. Oh, holy shit. Oh. I bought this movie a long time ago and I do not regret buying it. I am a horror movie lover.
He love it long time.
I give this movie 5 stars out of 6. For the people who are open and loves movies like this, give it a try. You might like it.
I won't.
See, that's why I was saying in another universe I probably would like this movie if it wasn't like so intrinsically tied to the first one. I liked it. Maybe it's just my fate to always like the movies others didn't like, but in my opinion, this was an extremely entertaining film. I had the luck to watch it without any expectations and knowledge of the plot because I had not heard much about this movie, and it positively surprised me. Okay, it does not have an extremely deep plot, but it has some nice details to it, and for the kind of movie it is supposed to be, it is simply not bad. Just go watch it and try not to be too close-minded. Phew. It's just a movie. This movie was definitely the cause of many of my nightmares when I was younger. Not sure why my parents even let me watch it. I just watched it again 23 years later, and I'm so upset that it's an underrated film because this movie is terrifying. For me, I don't care about the few funny-looking CGI things or that it's a little cheesy. This movie has terror, monsters, jokes, hot guys, scary church settings, metal music. Turn the lights out and the volume up and get into the movie. They made a really scary, awesome 90s flick. I had to turn the lights on and check the kids when it was over, just in case. Haha. Love this movie. Well, good for this person. I'm glad that they like it more than I did.
Dumb.
I love this film. I saw this film in theater when it came out, and I really liked it. This movie is a great 90s modern adaptation of the classic with its own spin. It's funny at times, but also pretty gory. I recently just rewatched this film in 2019, and I have to say it still holds up, and the graphics and special effects are pretty great. Also, the soundtrack is awesome. Something about 90s teen flicks, you can't beat it. I remember seeing Bush's Mouth music video, and it featured this film. Awesome. Awesome movie, terrific and adrenaline rush entertainment, minimal cursing. An awesome soundtrack, great acting and dialogue. Oh my God. Great movie and loose sequel to the first, ignore the bad review. Greatly enjoyable movie, nothing at all wrong with the movie. The pacing and editing was also impressive. and the plot regarding the werewolf society being superior as a new mankind, but still a good movie to watch and enjoy.
Is
What?
it though? Is it though?
Huh. Wow. There's a surprising amount of people that like this movie. Very few movie can say they are scarier than an... Oh no. Oh, I found him. Justin. It's Jacob John Taylor.
Oh my
one.
God, we would find him back on this movie. Jeez. Why?
Scarier than the first movie. Very few movie could say they are scarier than an American Werewolf in London. And this is one of them. This is one of the scariest movies ever. See this movie. It's a lot scarier than The Silence of the Lambs. What? Of course, The Silence of the Lambs is not scary at all. But this is scarier than The Shining, and that says a lot.
The Shining's not scary.
The legend has returned.
Or that good.
Legend has returned. The Shining's good, Justin. It's just not that scary. It is good though. I like The Shining.
So what
a lot.
did he review? American Werewolf in London too?
Let's find out. I have to know now. I have to know.
There's no way he did only this one.
If he did, that's insane. What a man. Okay. Okay, where are you? Justin, keep it talking. Keep it going.
Oh, let's see. I've been playing some good ass games recently. I got a Starship Troopers Extraction.
More like Starship Poopers.
Extinction, I mean.
Ejaculation.
Of course, I had to watch the movie again, and my girlfriend had never seen it, or if she did, she didn't remember it.
That's what happens when you date someone younger than you.
She had a great time. She's not younger than me.
She's not?
By a year.
That's enough.
Oh, but she loved it. She loved the corniness, and it was just great.
I don't know if corny is the word I'd use.
It's pretty corny in some parts.
I mean, I guess, but since I know it's intentional, it doesn't really.
Well, yeah, that's what makes it funny
It doesn't
and
really.
good.
That's not what pops into my mind. That's what, I guess it is corny.
I finally beat the campaign in Space Marine 2.
Wow, and you didn't even tell me you wanted to play.
You didn't tell me you were done with the first one yet.
No.
I already talked about that new Dragon Ball Z game.
Come on, Jacob John Taylor, you gotta be here.
Oh,
You gotta be here.
And then that Retro Realms Halloween game keeps pissing me off.
Yeah, I'm getting that one in the mail soon.
God, it is stupidly hard at some parts.
Good.
I didn't get the Evil Dead one yet, though.
Evil Dead, more like evil bread. He did not write a review for American Werewolf.
Damn you!
That is insane.
Why would you do this? Why?
Good one.
Good one. More like, Paul W.S. Anderson's gonna make a House of the Dead movie. How do you feel about that? Think it'll be good?
I mean, it depends on the tone he goes for.
Yeah, if he just tries to copy the game in a similar way to the way he did the Resident Evil movies, it'll work.
I don't know if he copied.
Well, I said try to copy the games in a way, like at least pay some respects to the source material, unlike the two House of the Dead movies that already do exist didn't do. The first
by Uwe Boll.
The first House of the Dead movie just thought, oh, I'll throw in quick snippets of actual gameplay footage to make you remember that this is referencing this.
That's right.
And then we'll have a stupid slow motion sword fight at the end. They basically tried to make that one Evil Dead. And then House of the Dead 2, the movie, is slightly better because they just turned that one into a fucking just a B horror, a slightly better B zombie horror movie. It's on the same grounds as like fucking the Return of the Living Dead movies.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Oh, well, that's all we got for this.
Welp.
So next week, I don't want to say week,
Yeah.
but next time,
On Gore Goblins.
we're looking at Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2.
More like, give me that shoe.
Yeah, AKA the best one.
No, the best one is 3D, and then followed by
Oh, did I tell
the
you
remake.
Did I tell you that Alexandra Daddario originally wanted to do that scene topless, and
I'm
the producers
sure
told
she
her,
did.
and the producers told her no, and she's like, no, but I like it doesn't make sense for me to be wearing a shirt, like just make me,
Unbuttoned. Yeah,
like
it
she's
didn't
like
make
just
sense.
let me be topless, and they were like, no. She made up for it in True Detective. Anyway, we're gonna be looking at my favorite Texas Chainsaw, which is Texas Chainsaw 2. I fucking love this movie. I love Dennis Hopper in this movie. God, I cannot fucking wait to watch it again. Got that shit on 4K from Vinegar Syndrome. Good ass movie. Can't wait to fucking eat
Tastes
it up.
like bacon.
Oh, can't wait. That'll be our next episode. Anyway, thanks for listening. You can follow us on YouTube, follow us on Facebook, follow us on wherever you get your podcasts.
Go listen to some Pale Face Swiss.
No, listen to good music. Anyway,
They are good.
So
I'm gonna promote them whether they know I do it or not.
well,
Then one day I'll get recruited as like a road guy.
listen to good music instead.
I-
Anyway, so that's all we got. So we hope you had a good Halloween, and we hope you
I
have.
hope you stayed clean.
We hope we actually get an episode out consistently.
Yeah. To that one dude who unsubscribed, you weren't worthy of the goblin magic anyway.
Shut up. You fucking idiot. All right, anyway, so we'll see y'all next time. Don't forget to sleep.
Or you'll get some creep at your window.
All right, anyway, goodbye.
Goodbye.